Hey, the Summer of Tire Rack Sweepstakes rolls on. One winner has already been selected to win a set of 4 brand new tires, and now 2 more winners have the opportunity to win a set of 4 tires plus installation taxes and fees. It's valued at up to $1,500. Enter daily, which gets you a new entry into the contest every single day. To enter, you go to foxsportsradio.com to boost your chances to win. 2 more winners will take home a set of 4 new tires between now and August 27th, this being the first day of August. To enter and get those rules, visit foxsportsradio.com, sponsored by TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. The Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco has wandered off the reservation and battled a Tampa Bay player. Hard to say a star, because I don't know if anyone's a star on Tampa Bay. But Wander Franco has been placed on administrative leave, a clerical move by the corporate powers that be at Major League Baseball, until further notice. He is persona non grata. And Major League Baseball continuing to investigate claims that he was dating an 8th grader, and probably more than one, according to the reports out of the Dominican. He had a fancy for underage girls and did not have any kind of decorum in terms of photos, video, you name it, all over the internet. So he clearly thought he did nothing untoward, and maybe it will turn out that is the case. But there's a lot of damning evidence out there on the interweb as Major League Baseball investigates. The Players Association and Major League Baseball came to an agreement. Now, the move is a dead giveaway. It's a dead giveaway that Franco will miss the remainder of the regular season and whatever happens to Tampa Bay beyond that in the postseason. Of course, the long-term outlook is not great either, as Major League Baseball, the investigative arm, is digging around, snooping around, trying to figure out what they can. They don't have subpoena power, so you can't get that much information, but there is an investigation in the Dominican Republic, which is of a law enforcement nature, from what we understand. So that's a bigger deal for Wander Franco than it is Major League Baseball's investigation, because that could take his freedom away. So let us discuss the question: what are the odds that Wander Franco plays another game for Tampa Bay? What are the odds? So based on the information that we have now, and a thorough review of what has been publicly stated about Wander Franco, the Maller Sportsbook odds, a very scientifical analysis. I have the odds at plus 2,000. Now, that implies a 5% chance that we see Wander Franco play again in Tampa Bay. I've got Joseph Stalin, squeeze play, and filibuster. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a mayo and banana sandwich, which came up in conversation last night.
Yummy!
I've never had one of those. I got to get one of those. I think I'd eat that. There's some things that people eat that I have no interest in, but I think that might be okay. All right, so number one. Yes. If you take the temperature in the room for Wander Franco and the Rays, it is sizzling. It is sizzling. Right now, Wander Franco is being excommunicated from the Major League Baseball community, which is fascinating to watch happen watching it happen in real time. And I understand these things happen. I get it. And if he did what the accusations are, you should pay a price for that. But it's fascinating that he had a seat at the elite table. Generational player. And Tampa Bay gave this guy a forever contract. And when I say a forever contract, we're talking one of those 11-year contracts for $182 million before taxes, with an extra year, a 12th year added on at a team option for another $25 million. So that's over $200 million in salary. It's all going to go away. It's all going to eventually go away if there turns out to be some kind of criminal charges, even if they're not a criminal charge. but there's a violation of the morals clause in the standard Major League Baseball contract, this guy's cooked. That's it. You're done. See you later in terms of that money. The team can get out of it. The only concern, the only reason you wouldn't get out of it is if you think that he's going to be allowed to play in Major League Baseball, and then he would just go sign with the Yankees or the Red Sox or somebody like that. But assuming he's banished from baseball and is going to have to play in the Mexican League or somewhere in Asia, then if you're Tampa Bay, you're like, all right, we're not paying him. We're not going to pay him the $182 million. Now, to give you an idea of how crazy that is for a team like Tampa Bay, you kind of already know that, but just to touch up my work here. So that contract by Wander Franco is not only the largest contract in Rays history, it is the largest contract for any player anywhere on any team at any time with less than 1 year of service time signing the contract. It is unprecedented what Tampa Bay did. And now here they find themselves at a crossroads and at the fork in the road. What are you going to do? You're going to choke on the fork. The path here for Wander Franco is booby-trapped in more ways than one, apparently. But he's got problems. He's got a lot of problems. Now, there's several factors here. This Baseball Insider gets all these great stories on Latin American baseball players. Hector Gomez is the guy's name. This guy's really good. And he reported, we mentioned this on the show the other day, he reported that a source told him the Rays shortstop is very unlikely to play in Major League Baseball again. So that's strike one. More importantly are strike two. Strike two, we're at strike two. It's an 0-2 count for Wander Franco. Strike two is Major League Baseball marketing, giving Wander Franco the Joseph Stalin treatment. Right now, Major League Baseball and the Tampa Bay Rays are taking part in the great purge of Wander Franco. Any evidence that Franco was a star player in Tampa is being erased as we speak, vanished. That's not my opinion. It is a factoid. We are told the Rays began pulling down likenesses of the player Wander Franco all around Tropicana Field. His face was all over the ballpark. They're taking all that down. There's a banner outside the stadium featuring Wander Franco. It has been taken down, replaced by Yandy Diaz. Also, there was an elevator wrap that had Wander on it. That's been replaced by someone named Pete Fairbanks. We don't know who that is, but apparently he plays for the Rays as a pitcher. And there were signs featuring Wander Franco from a sports bar, a prominent sports bar in Tampa, Ferg's. You think that's Ferg Cat's sports bar, Ferg's in Tampa? I don't know. But Ferg's, that is also coming down. But wait, there's more. Strike number two, or is this strike three? I've lost count. So Wander Franco highlights have also been removed from in-stadium and also on the Tampa Bay Rays state-sponsored television broadcast there on the Bally's Sports Channel. So that's also gone. And despite being on leave, that's not all bad news for Wander Franco. Despite being on leave, he is still getting paid. He's still getting his contract, and he will collect his $2 million salary and will continue to accrue service time. So he's adding to that, so the pension plan of Major League Baseball. Now, page number two. To the Windy City we go. Am I going to sit here and do a deep dive on the Chicago White Sox firing their general manager and their vice president? No, I'm not going to do that. But I am going to do a story that caught my attention here involving Jerry Reinsdorf. We mentioned this in a previous episode of the show, but I want to go a little in-depth on it. So Jerry Reinsdorf, the chairman, the owner of the White Sox, he's considering moving the franchise from the South Side, the baddest part of town in Chicago, where the White Sox have been my entire life and your entire life, your parents' entire life, your grandparents' entire life, your great-grandparents. I don't know how far back you want to go, but it's been a long time. They've been in Chicago on the South Side at a stadium that has one of these corporate names, Guaranteed Rates Field. The deal expires in 2029. If you look at your calendar app on your phone, it's 2023, and we are told that while no decision has been made by the Chicago American League baseball team, no decision is either imminent or has been made, but all possibilities are on the table, including moving to a stadium out in the burbs somewhere else in the greater Chicagoland area, as far as the city of Chicago, I'm sure the Cubs will have no problem with that. Imagine if they should build a ballpark right across from Wrigley Field for the White Sox. Like on one side of the street, you've got the Sox Park, and then on the other side, you got the Cubs Park. And just let it rip. Why not?
That's baseball.
Yeah. Or the other possibility is relocating Nashville, Tennessee. Get your cowboy boots ready. I wonder if our old friend Clay Travis would buy season tickets to the Nashville. Probably not. Nashville base. He has Titans season tickets. I don't know about that. But anyway, that's been a rumor for a little while that Nashville, the White Sox, there's a connection there. So the question on this one, how concerned should Chicago baseball fans be about losing the White Sox to Nashville? We're going to dust off the Maller scale of anxiety. The Maller scale of anxiety, which is never wrong, 1 to 10. I am at a 3. I'm at a 3 on the Maller scale of anxiety, and here's why. Chicago is the number 3 television market. And even though television's changed a lot and everyone's watching stuff on the internet, it's all about how many people are available to watch your product. There are more people in Chicago. I know half of them are Cub fans, or more than half, but that's not the point. It's the number 3 media market in the United States. Nashville, while it's growing and it's hip and it's cool and everyone seems to love it and famous people are moving to Nashville, it is still the 29th biggest media market. That's a massive gap. That is the gap the size of the Grand Canyon. So as a distant relative of Nostradamus and friend of Nostradamus, he lives in Seattle, this is what's known as a squeeze play. A squeeze play. The White Sox are doing the legwork to shake down Illinois politicians, which is kind of funny because Illinois politicians you don't even need to put on a show. They'll just hand you the money. It's Illinois, Chicago in particular. And so this is the same squeeze that Jerry Reinsdorf pulled off years ago in the 1980s, before my time, of course. But the White Sox were going to move to St. Petersburg, Tampa, years before the Tampa Bay Rays came into existence. They were going to leave the old Comiskey Park. It was all set up. But it is a timeless extortion move in the sporting world. You want a new stadium in your city, but you don't feel like paying for the stadium. What are you going to do? Well, you threaten to leave. That's what happens, right? You threaten to move. It's a swindle. It's always effective. It's always right. Because either you get the stadium you want in the city, you don't have to move, or you just relocate like the Athletics, and then you get the stadium in Vegas. All right, final point. So let's go to Anaheim, where Angels superstar Mike Trout referenced Shohei Ohtani and his free agent mystery in the quote heard round the baseball world. So here is the quote. I'll give you part of it from Mike Trout. He said, "You never know what's going to happen regarding Ohtani. There's going to be a lot of teams out there wanting him. Who wouldn't?" Was the Trout quote. So is there some kind of hidden meaning in the Mike Trout comments about Shohei Ohtani? And I am going yes, but it's subtle. All right, I'm going yes, but it's subtle what Trout had to say about Ohtani. On the surface, to the untrained novice, you'll say, "Oh, there's nothing there. He just gave empty words." And that's true to a point. It was a Mike Trout filibuster talking about Shohei Ohtani. Your lips are moving, but you're not saying anything at all. The art of saying nothing at all is a gift that many political hacks have and whatnot. Nevertheless, though, if I'm Artie Moreno, the Angels owner, I'm upset with Mike Trout today. And I'll tell you why. Because Mike Trout was given an opportunity. He was given a soapbox to stand on there. And he could have said, all right, we want Ohtani back. I want a play with Ohtani. We want him here. The Angels want him and all that. But Trout, his message was one of apathy. That was the message of Mike Trout. He's the face of the bleeping Angel franchise. He's the one that signed the forever contract with the Angels. But he just refused to publicly endorse and campaign for Shohei Ohtani to stay with the Angels. He was given a platform to do it. He chose not to do it. And why not? That sounds like a guy that's checked out, Mike Trout. Cowabunga, dude.